Run! Oh! Explosions. And still dives into the water like a boss. I'll take this boat, thank you very much. Ah! Remnants of another ancient civilization destroyed. Another job well done, Lara Croft. There'll be no history for those people. Ho ho ho! Time for my next adventure! I can't wait to wipe what little traces of another civilization still exist off of the map. Ha ha ha! I'm Lara Croft, and I've killed people. A lot of people. How many hands did those people... What? How many hands have those people killed in future games? This is the only one I've played other than the new one, so I don't know. But I do know in the new one I have killed a lot of people. Already. And I'm only about 4 hours in. Come sail away. Come sail away. The final conflict. Hey, 1 out of 4 artifacts. I got 0 out of 0 relics, so 100% there. That's great. Ooh, we unlocked cheats. Would you like to save? Yes, I would. Do we get an ending or... Oh, well, that was the ending. Alright, well, this is normally where I do my mini review of whatever game I have played. This time, Tomb Raider Anniversary, obviously. Overall, I enjoyed it. There was definitely some very frustrating parts near the end. The gameplay of jumping around on ledges and timing your jumps as you get later on, that part was great. I really enjoyed that for the most part. Checkpoint system was actually really well done for the most part. There was a couple places where there might have been one more checkpoint, but honestly, overall, that's how you do a checkpoint system. If you're not going to let me save wherever I want, which is the preference, have a damn good checkpoint system, and this one has one. So thumbs up there. The combat was bad. It wasn't so horrible when you were fighting wolves and cats and raptors, but later on it got really frustrating due to a combination of you changing targets just by barely even tapping the mouse, and the camera being really bad, and enemies with kind of bullshit attacks, all kind of combining into a giant cluster of poo-poo. But overall, it wasn't... Yeah, no, it was bad. It was a bad combat system. But see, the thing is, I wouldn't mind if the combat was bad if there was very little of it. And there was very little combat until the very end. And honestly, really, the only thing that gave me so much trouble with those goddamn flying things, Keely Hawes, was Lara Croft. But the only thing that gave me trouble was those stupid flying things. Because not only were they hard to see because of the targeting system and the camera system, but they were often targeting you where you didn't have much room to move. You're fighting the camera the whole time, and they shoot explosive balls that bounce you around and can chain stun you, which is great, or knock you off the ledge. So that was pretty damn stupid. Overall, though, the combat was bad, but it usually wasn't a problem because the enemies were easy. So, let's see. I mean, the voice acting was good for the most part. Again, I haven't played the first one, so I don't know how this compares to the first one. I've watched a little bit of it, and the beginning, at least, was a lot very similar to it. Graphically, it looked good considering its age. I think it looks fine. It's not cutting edge, but it's definitely good enough. Oh, geez, what else? I mean, I really like the whole idea of exploring the tombs or exploring these ancient areas. I really like that aspect. I like the relics, how it did seem like the relics, you actually had to go out of your way. A lot of times with games, at least these days, to find the hidden items, you just, instead of going right for your quest, you go left and find a dead end, you find the hidden item, then you go back to where you were going. This seems to be significantly different in that you actually have to veer off course a pretty decent ways, or go or do things at were not immediately obvious for you to do. So I think that's a pretty cool way of doing that. If I had the inclination, I actually would enjoy going back and finding all the relics for some of that. So those of you who are big time into that, into the exploration and finding all the hidden items, this game seems to offer a lot as far as that goes. Later on, I was getting frustrated with the... Honestly, if you thinking back on it, if you took out 90% of the combat near the end, it wouldn't have been that bad. There was some fails on the end, especially that one timed puzzle where you had to swing twice and swing across, and all in a very, very tight time frame. That one was pretty damn tricky. But if it would have took the combat out of it, like having to re-kill, it wouldn't have been as bad. Another problem I have was the controls for the most part are fine. The problem comes in where sometimes she doesn't do exactly what you want, and that leads to either death or going back and having to redo things all over again, which to me is incredibly annoying. I really hate that kind of thing. I get very frustrated doing the same thing over and over and over again. So the controls, again, for the most part, were spot on. And then some of them were just wonky. You just have to figure out the way they work. For example, when you're swinging on the rope, how sometimes she would jump to where I want to go, and then sometimes she would just jump off to her death. Once I figured out, oh, if you move the camera, then she will sometimes go where you want, or most of the time go where she wants. That helped a lot. But then sometimes it just didn't work. Or if you move the camera, for example, when you're trying to build up momentum going back and forth, holding right, randomly she'll think you're holding left and try to stop. So you have to get all your momentum going up all over again. So that can be annoying. The other thing that I had problems with was shooting the grapple out. I don't know what it is, but sometimes you would press the button to shoot the grapple and she just wouldn't do it. And the problem with that is we'll normally think we'll just keep spamming Q so she does it. Problem is if she does it and you hit it too late, then she just drops and then you fall to your death or whatever. So that was pretty frustrating. Overall, though, I enjoyed the game. It was a good introduction to the series, I guess. I've never played any others, again, except for the new one. If you want to get into Tomb Raider, I would definitely give this one a shot. Or if you liked Uncharted, or if you're not even sure, pick this up. I think it's like $10 or $15. Definitely worth that price. I would give this game about a 7 out of 10. I would give it higher. Wow, she had some serious boob jiggle there. I would give it higher, but the control problems, the camera problems, the combat, the unresponsive controls sometimes, that's really enough to set it back for me. But a 7 out of 10 is still good. It's a good score. Again, I don't use the idiotic score that a lot of game media sites use, where 7 is a bad game and 6 is horrible and 5 is absolutely terrible. 5 is a medium game on my scale. So still good game. You should seriously look at picking it up. I appreciate you guys watching. Please let me know what you've thought of the series in the comments below. Please like my videos if you like them, and I shall see you next time.